Hello everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We are embarking on a truly fascinating journey that connects the soil in our homes directly to our daily well-being. We're going to explore exactly how to transform basic household plants and everyday kitchen scraps into a thriving garden, and even more importantly, how to harness those very plants for incredible herbal health, natural remedies, and some amazing culinary delights. So whether you're looking to pot your very first plant, brew a healing cup of herbal tea, or add homegrown herbs to your favorite rich curries, this explainer is your ultimate roadmap.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is what you're going to walk away with today. First, we'll cover gardening foundations. Second, propagation made easy. Third, household garden hacks. Fourth, plants for natural wellness. And finally, sustainable upcycled gardens.
Right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Gardening Foundations, getting the basics right. Because every thriving green space really does start with mastering light, water, and the perfect pot.
Now, a lot of people think they just have a black thumb, right? Like they think their houseplant is just inherently bad at growing. But honestly, it usually just comes down to matching the plant to its specific light requirement. It's like a giant puzzle. If you have full sun, which means 6 or more hours of direct light, you're going to want to reach for an aloe vera, a jade plant, or a gorgeous tropical hibiscus. But if you only have a window with bright, indirect light, a monstera or a rubber plant is going to absolutely thrive there. We even have shade-tolerant options like the snake plant or the ZZ plant for those really low-light corners. The secret here is simply observing your space and using this guide to pick the perfect green companion.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is how it simplifies watering into 3 incredibly easy schedules. You know, overwatering is actually the #1 killer of houseplants. Instead of constantly guessing, we can just group plants by how thirsty they are. So, once a week for things like your parlor palms and ferns, every 2 weeks for your trendy fiddly figs or rubber plants, and for the ultimate low-maintenance plants like the yucca or sansevieria, you literally only need to water them once a month. Grouping your plants this way takes absolutely all the guesswork out of your routine. But hey, once you've got your light and water dialed in, you need a home for your plant. And choosing the right pot isn't just about matching your living room decor, it actively changes how the soil retains heat and moisture. Starting with the size rule, always go 2 to 3 inches wider and deeper than the current plant. Materials matter immensely too. For example, terracotta is highly porous. It absorbs heat and dries out soil really quickly, which makes it perfect for summer or dry-loving plants. Plastic, on the flip side, retains moisture much longer. But no matter what beautiful ceramic or heavy concrete pot you ultimately choose, the absolute most crucial factor is ensuring it has a drainage hole to prevent root rot. Never skip the drainage hole.
Moving right along to Section 2, Propagation Made Easy, multiplying your greenery. You don't need to keep buying new plants if you know how to multiply the ones you already have. Propagation is basically a cheat code for gardening, you guys. But before we start cutting, we really need to know exactly what plant we're working with. And this brilliantly illustrates the direct contrast between 2 very commonly confused succulents. On one hand, you have the elephant bush. It has small, round, soft leaves with reddish-brown stems, and it grows quite fast. On the other hand, the true jade plant has large, thick, oval leaves with green stems that actually turn woody as they age, and it grows pretty slowly. Knowing this difference is key because they do require slightly different care, especially when we want to propagate them.
So let's actually look at how to multiply that jade plant. It's a simple 4-step process. First up, take a cutting just below a healthy node. Now, step 2 is the absolute secret to success here. You have to let it callus. You must let the cutting dry out in the open for 2 to 3 days before it ever touches dirt. If you skip this, it will just rot. There's no way around it. Once it's nicely calloused, plant it in some well-draining succulent soil, give it some bright, indirect light, and wait a few days before giving it its very first drink of water.
And listen, propagation isn't just for decorative plants. It's a total gateway to incredible culinary delights right in your kitchen. Take pudina or fresh mint, for example. We really need to stop buying it at the store every week. Just take a 4 to 6 inch healthy stem cutting and pop it in a glass of water. In just 3 to 5 days, you'll see little roots sprouting. Pot it in soil, give it sunlight, and water it. But please pay close attention to step 5. Pinch the tips regularly. Why? Because pinching encourages the plant to branch out instead of just growing tall and leggy. That means a much bushier plant, giving you endless fresh mint for your chutneys, your rich curries, or your daily tea.
Which brings us to Section 3, Household Garden Hacks, Kitchen Scraps to Plant Superfood.
I want you to take a second and really think about what you normally throw in the trash or wash down the drain after making breakfast. Do you really think you need expensive, synthetic chemical fertilizers to get vibrant, healthy plants?
Well, think again. Those everyday scraps are actually plant superfood. They are packed with exactly what your garden craves. When you boil eggs, do not dump the water down the sink. Let it cool and pour it on your plants for a massive calcium boost. Use coffee grounds? They instantly improve your soil's texture and acidity. And the water you use to rinse your rice is loaded with starches that promote incredibly healthy root systems. You can even use eggshells as biodegradable seed starters, and a little baking soda acts as a highly effective, totally natural weed killer. You can completely replace store-bought plant food with what's already sitting in your kitchen.
So the crucial point is that understanding just a little bit of kitchen chemistry goes a massive long way. Just by combining basic white sugar with 4 different household liquids, you can create highly specialized nutrient solutions. Sugar and milk act as a powerful rooting agent for lush plant roots. Sugar and water alone can revive sad yellow leaves back to a vibrant green. Mixing sugar with white vinegar encourages fresh new shoots and overall vitality. And perhaps surprisingly, sugar mixed with a little bit of beer provides the absolute perfect fertilizer to trigger abundant, beautiful blooms. Speaking of blooms, isn't it just the most frustrating thing when a tropical plant like a hibiscus or a fragrant jasmine just flat out refuses to flower? If your hibiscus is stuck, run through this simple checklist. First, it absolutely needs 4 to 6 hours of direct sunlight, and morning sun is best. If it has light, it might just be hungry, so boost it with a fertilizer rich in phosphorus and potassium. Make sure you aren't pruning it at the wrong time. Wait to do any light pruning until after the flowering phase. Don't drown it. Water only when the top layer of soil is dry. And finally, if pests like aphids strike, treat them instantly with a natural spray of neem oil. All right, Section 4, Plants for Natural Wellness, Healing from the Garden. This is where we shift gears a bit. We're moving from taking care of our plants to letting our plants take care of us. Systemic inflammation is a massive issue today, isn't it? It affects our joints, our digestive tract, our heart, even our brain. But as you can see here, we can turn to a simple traditional remedy, combining fresh ginger with coriander seeds to brew a potent healing tea. This specific herbal blend targets and reduces inflammation throughout the entire human body, really showcasing the true power of natural herbal remedies. And honestly, turning that into a daily habit changes everything. Simply committing to drinking natural ginger tea every single day for 30 days can dramatically unlock surprising benefits for your digestion. It calms your stomach and gives a major boost to your overall immunity. It's a natural, simple, and incredibly powerful ritual that you can start right in your own kitchen today.
But hey, it's not just about the plants we intentionally grow. Sometimes it's literally what we pull out of the dirt. Take purslane, for instance. Most people spend hours trying to eradicate this common weed from their yard. But in reality, purslane is an absolute powerhouse. It is packed with omega-3 fatty acids, making it a literal superfood that protects your brain, supports your heart, and even helps regulate your thyroid. So, instead of tossing it in the compost pile, wash it and throw it in a fresh salad.
Let's move to our final segment, Section 5, Sustainable Upcycled Gardens, Creative Reuse in the Yard. Let's see how this builds into an entirely sustainable, beautiful ecosystem in your own backyard.
To really see how everything connects, check out this DIY rain barrel filter system. Water conservation is key, obviously, but you want clean water for your plants. Going top to bottom here, you start with a leaf screen to catch twigs, then a layer of river rock to spread the water flow evenly. Below that, activated charcoal traps impurities and odors, followed by fine gravel, and finally washed sand at the bottom to filter out the smallest particles. The result? A pristine water reservoir that is entirely naturally filtered and perfectly ready for your fresh vegetables and flowers.
And that sustainability? It absolutely extends to your containers too. You do not need to spend a fortune on fancy raised beds. By giving old furniture new life, you can create some truly breathtaking garden centerpieces. Imagine an old wooden dresser with the drawers pulled out, repurposed as a beautiful tiered planter for lettuce and strawberries. Or a hollowed-out tree stump holding vibrant hydrangeas. Even an old rustic wheelbarrow or a weathered wooden ladder can be repurposed into incredible, visually striking homes for your herbs. Gardening truly can be cheap, eco-friendly, and breathtakingly beautiful. We have covered a ton of ground today, from finding the perfect lighting and mixing clever kitchen fertilizers to brewing herbal ginger teas and designing upcycled garden beds. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Which kitchen scrap or completely ignored weed will you transform into your garden's secret weapon today? There's an entire world of natural wellness and lush greenery waiting for you right in your own home. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy planting.